everyone, welcome back to my channel Dash of Sash, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today. I know it has been a while that I have not been in front of the camera, but I'm here today and I'm just gonna have a little chit chat with you all. So I have been doing some reflection on how far I have come and how far I still have to go. And one of the important points that I want to share with you today is, do not allow the greater picture discourage you from taking the tiny steps to get there. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, many of us have great dreams. It is important to dream big, but sometimes, you wonder, when will I get there? When will I accomplish every single thing that I dream of? And the answer is, as long as you are consistent and you take tiny steps to get there, you will get there. So I am relating this to nearly every aspect of my life. As you all may know, I struggled with low self-esteem. I had problems with self-love. I really couldn't love myself. And the truth is, if you were to tell me 10 years ago that one day you would eventually start to love yourself, I would say you're crazy. You're really crazy, because at that time I struggled so much, and you all know this by the last video that I posted on how I overcame depression and what I struggled with in high school and what people teased me about and all of that. So having a comfortable face image, self-image about myself, it really was not something that I had. I did not have self-love. I did not love myself. I did not like the way that I look. I did not like certain traits about me, certain personality traits about me. For example, I find I was a little bit too quiet. I was a little bit antisocial. I had problems speaking in public. I was shy and all of those things. So if you had told me that 10 years ago that one day you'll be able to speak in front of people, one day you will not be as shy as you were before, I would say that you're crazy. But looking back now, I could see where I have come from. During the process, it did not look like that, to be honest. It's like the steps that you take every single day, you don't really see the outcome or the results of it, but after a few years pass or after a period of time pass and you look back, that's when you see your improvements. That's when you see the steps that you have made. And so my point to you today is, the tiny steps that you're taking today towards whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, whatever you're trying to accomplish. That's like, for me, 10 years ago, I was trying to be a better person. I was trying to accept myself to begin with. And so the tiny steps that you take day by day, don't be discouraged about it. Continue taking those tiny steps, and one day you're gonna look back and be like, wow, look how far I have become, look how far I have reached in life, and I did not even know that it was taking place step by step. One of my favorite quotes is, confidence is good, but individuality is everything. So what makes you unique, what makes you different, what sets you apart, what sets your mark, it is your individuality, and that's very much important. But before achieving individuality, you must achieve confidence, meaning that you must have some level of faith and trust in your abilities, in who you are. You must accept both your perfections and your imperfections, the things that you're strong in as well as the things that you're weak in. And that is a process that takes time. So I'm going to share with you how, by time after time, I learned to love myself. So a couple of years ago, I used to write blogs, and me writing blogs was just one of the ways in which I did research to kind of help myself build my confidence, right? And I wrote, it's something on WordPress. It's called Beauty Blog by Sash WordPress, and sometimes you write certain things and when you look back, you're like, wow, this is something it's good, it's timely, right? So I wrote at that time, a confident woman sees herself as a diamond, and though she may not be the shiniest, she still sees herself as a diamond. So, a confident person, despite if you may not be the best person in the whole universe or the best person in your class, it still does not take away the way in which you see yourself. So, number one, a confident woman accepts and appreciates herself. So, becoming a confident person, you need to learn how to live with yourself, learn how to love yourself, learn how to accept yourself. The first thing is acceptance. Accepting your good, your bad, your strengths, your weaknesses, everything about yourself, you need to accept it. And when I struggled with, as you all know from my last video, I struggled with my facial features. And the first step when I look back now was acceptance. Accepting that, this is how I am made, this is how I am. So, what am I going to do? Am I going to just be depressed about it for the rest of my life? Or is it that I'm going to try to solve the issue, try to do things to make me accept myself? Another thing I did not like about myself is my height. I am very short, and so at a period in time, I felt bad about it. I felt like, God, I mean, you could at least make me a little taller. I mean, why? And some people used to call you shorty, some people, the mean people, because I was hairy, and on top of that, short. So some people used to call me Dwen, call me Buck, and so it was a time that, now I can laugh about it, because if anybody say anything like that now, I'll be like, I am the best version of myself. Although I'm short, I'll be a sweet short girl. So I'll be the best short person you'll ever know. So now it's like that. But back then, I would just definitely crack up like a little egg and go home and cry. And I was so consumed by what people thought about me. And that was my dilemma at that time. But it's so good to grow. It's so good to look back and be like, you know what? I was there and look at me now. And I did not like my facial features. I did not like the way that I look. And so I did different things in order to help me accept myself. So for example, I would let down my hair now. I took treatment, as you all know from my last video. You could always check it out. I had to learn to accept everything about myself. And when I accept it, it's like your insecurities did not really bother you to per se. It's like you make a joke about it. It's like, this is who I am. So being comfortable in your skin, it's very important. It's the first step towards self-love. And I think it's very important to learn to love yourself first, because you're going to live in this body till you die. It's like the longest relationship you would have on this earth is a relationship with yourself. So as you might as well just learn to live with yourself, learn to love yourself. And I know it may take time, but trust me, when I look back today, it's like, wow, thank God. The key to knowing something's worth is knowing its value. It's knowing it to begin with. So start learning yourself and start knowing yourself, and that's how you start learning that you are of worth. Probably make a list of the things that you like about yourself and the things that you do not like about yourself, right? And then know that you're special, know that you're one of a kind, and start working on the things that you don't like about yourself, and start appreciating the things that you already like about yourself. So when you start appreciating the things that you like about yourself and start working on things that you don't like about yourself, you learn your value, you learn your worth, you know that you're special. There are certain things that you can do that others can't do. Another important point about knowing your worth is knowing who you are in God. I know I am a Christian, so I can speak from that point of view. Knowing who you were created to be, where God wants you to go, where He wants to direct you, those are the things that you need to know. Know that you are special, know that you're loved by Him, like even though other people may reject you, or even though people may not like you, even though people may have the worst opinions about you. All that matters is that God loves me, that I am special, that I was made by Him on purpose and for purpose. So when you start to feel purposeful, when you start to feel like, I have something valuable, this life is worth living, that's when you start to learn your worth and you know that you are valuable. And the third point is confidence does not compare. I mean, once you're a confident person, it doesn't matter what other people around you is achieving, how they look, or anything like that. All that matters is that you become so comfortable in yourself. You become so confident that, you know what, I love myself. I love the way that I look. I appreciate, I accept the things about myself, and I'm so comfortable in my skin. Is that it does not matter. It doesn't matter where other people reach in life. I accept that, we are all in different lanes, as it were. And, somebody may be achieving a certain success in their life right now, but that doesn't mean that I'm forgotten. That doesn't mean that I will not achieve my dreams. That doesn't mean that I am inferior. It just means that, everything happens in a timing, and I am so confident that what is for me is for me. I don't have to compete with each other. I don't have to compete with other people or anything like that. It's a good thing to admire other people, and it's also good to admit that somebody is beautiful, somebody is much more successful than you, and it's always important to congratulate them when they accomplish these things. Don't feel jealous, don't feel left out. I mean, what is for you will definitely be for you. I mean, that's what I believe. It's like I feel comfortable that even though people may be ahead of me for my age, and that's okay. That's okay. The things that I want to accomplish and things that I'm working towards accomplishing, it will happen in its timing. I'm not saying to just be laid back and it will just happen in its timing. No, you take the necessary steps to get there, and once you put God first and you work towards it, I believe it will happen. So being confident is being able to walk in a room and just be comfortable in your skin, even though everybody else in the room may be much more successful than you, more beautiful than you, much more, I don't know, whatever it is that you may try to compare yourself to somebody else's life. They may have more things than you, and they may accomplish greater things than you than when you were that age, and it's all fine. There's nothing that you need to compete with anybody. Just accept who you are, accept your lane, accept that things will happen in its timing in your life. You will be successful as well. Success is not limited to one person, it's to everyone have different goals and different dreams, and it's okay. For example, designing is a very competitive business. It's like something that you have to always have your viewers, your customers, people's interests. You always have to capture their interests. And that may not always be the easiest thing. Sometimes, the things that you make, it may not always be something that people like. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that, I should just throw my hands in the air and just give up on my dream. No, you need to set that mark of uniqueness and work that mark of uniqueness. So again, I'm drawing the point that if you had told me this 10 years ago, that I'll be able to speak in front of people, I'll be able to have eye-to-eye conversations with people, I would finally love and accept myself, I would grow in confidence, I would definitely think you're crazy. But looking back I could definitely see how far I have become, how far I've reached, And it feels good. It feels good to grow. It feels good to be away from the state that you were in, to being in a better state in life, and it feels good. So I want to encourage you today, continue to take the tiny steps. I know the steps that you take day to day, you may not be able to see the full results of it, but one day you will look back and you'll be like, hey, look how far I have reached, and I didn't even know the things that I thought were impossible to achieve. It's like I'm actually here now. So continue believing, continue achieving, continue walking, continue taking the steps to the place that you want to be. Continue doing it. And so I hope you enjoyed today's little encouraging words, and I hope it really was an encouragement to you all. It was for me. It's nice to reflect and see how far you have become, how far you have evolved in your thinking, in the way that you carry about yourself, and the things that you always wanted to achieve. And so continue walking this life, continue pressing forward, even though it may not look like it's going to happen. Just keep walking, and one day you'll look back and see how many steps you have made. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and much love from Sash.